Hey everybody, welcome in to Sports Live in the 215. I'm your host, Connor Okuda. Just give me 1 second. And today we'll discuss the Phillies and Pirates. This is the Phillies and Pirates series preview. So the Phillies came off a pretty successful All-Star break. They had 7 All-Stars or 8 All-Stars, the most in baseball, which makes sense. They're the best team in baseball, and there were a lot of really good contributors and guys that came up in big spots for them throughout the first half, and hopefully they can get the second half started right with a series win against the team who had the number 1 pick last season, the Pittsburgh Pirates. And luckily for the Phillies, they will end up missing the number 1 pick by just a day. We will not have to face potential NL Rookie of the Year Paul Skeens. He dominated the All-Star game. He was absolutely as advertised. He's one, and this whole year he's kind of showed why he's the front runner for NL Rookie of the Year. But anyway, I think a big key for the Phillies in this series, there we go, is getting off to a fast start. Although the Pirates are a 500 ball club, it's maybe more important that the Phillies get off to a fast start against a team that's at or around the 500 mark, because if you let those teams hang around, they'll feel like they have a chance. So a big key in this series is going to be jumping on them early, and then letting your pitching kind of take control of the game from there. If the Phillies can do that, they'll be successful. And another big another semi-big storyline into this game is of course it's the Battle of the Keystone State, but also another underrated storyline is the Phillies will face is that some of the Phillies will face their former teammate in Pirates left fielder Andrew McCutchen. He was here from 19 to 21. He was one of the more underrated and really solid leadoff guys in baseball. He wasn't the MVP Andrew McCutchen from 14 to 15, but he's still a very, very solid player. So it's important that the Phillies kind of hold the veteran left fielder in check. That'll be a huge key for this series. And something that I feel like is kind of going under, kind of going under the another thing that's kind of going under the radar is that the Pirates have improved. We or they've they're capable of some really big offensive performances. So you not only do they have the veteran presence of Andrew McCutchen, they have Ji-Hwan Bae, and they also have slugging first baseman Ji-Hwan Bae. He's an absolute he's a nightmare for any pitcher to face. So if the Phillies can get him out, it should be a much easier series. And the player to watch for the Phillies in this series has got to be Kyle Schwarber. I mentioned jumping on the Pittsburgh Pirates early, and Kyle Schwarber is, I want to say I heard somewhere, I forget exactly where, but I want to say he's batting close to 400 on the first pitch. It might even be above 400. So if Schwarber can get his pitch, the Pirates pitching staff will need to kind of they'll need to definitely be wary of that. I think if the Phillies can jump all over the Pirates pitching staff, our own pitching staff, which has had four or five All-Stars this year, or four All-Stars, and then Bohm, Turner, and Harp were the other three. Bohm, Turner, and Bryce Harper were the other three. If the pitching staff can kind of coast after the offense gives them some runs, the Phillies should at least win this series. And speaking of the pitching matchups, let's discuss them right now. One second, let me just pop that up. So tonight at 6:40, Aaron Nola, who will be going for his 12th win on the season, he's 11-4 with a 3.38 ERA, will be going up against Martin Perez. He's 1-5 with a 5.15 ERA. And Nola has 116 strikeouts on the year, and Perez has just 57. So if the Phillies hitters can see the ball up against Martin Perez, they should have a lot of success tonight. And then on Saturday, the Phillies will send left-hander Christopher Sanchez, who's 7-4 with a 2.96 ERA, along with 87 strikeouts, and he'll be opposed by um, Luis L. or by Luis L. Ortiz, who is 4-2 with a 2.84 ERA. And Sanchez has exactly 30 more strikeouts than Ortiz by a score of 87-57. So Saturday should be a really, really solid pitching matchup, and the same goes for Sunday. When the Phillies will send rookie right-hander Tyler Phillips to the bump. He's 1-0 with a 4.50 ERA and 12 strikeouts against Marco Gonzalez, who's 1-0 with a 2.45 ERA, and he has 15 strikeouts on the year. So I believe game 1, the Phillies should win handily. Games 2 and 3, I could see going either way. But anyway, at any rate, I do see the Phillies at least winning 2 out of 3. Have a good night, everybody, and I will be back on Sunday to recap this series. Have a